Ending chronic homelessness is the end goal, but what steps do we take to get there? Can initiatives like the Housing First approach successfully end homelessness without addressing underlying issues like mental health and addictions? Many people experiencing homelessness are faced with various barriers and challenges that prevent them from obtaining stable, permanent housing. As of 2016, the Government of Canada states that there are an estimated 150,000 people accessing homeless shelters annually. It is easily arguable, based off research and statistics, that many of the reasons people are homeless, other than financial reasons and lack of affordable housing, is because they do not have easy access to the supports they need to address their underlying issues like mental health and addictions. The following topics will be discussed in further detail to better understand the issue, possible solutions, and conclusion to my research question. The Housing First approach, the homelessness partnering strategy, addictions and mental health. The Housing First approach. The COPES tool was used to develop my research question. Can initiatives like the Housing First approach successfully end chronic homelessness without addressing underlying issues like mental health and addictions? COPES is a very beneficial tool when dealing with the issue of homelessness, as it focuses on a client group or problem. It allows you to critically evaluate the actions that need to be taken, possible alternative courses of action, and preferred outcomes. The Canadian Observatory on Homelessness explains the Housing First model as a recovery-oriented approach to ending homelessness that centers on quickly moving people experiencing homelessness into independent and permanent housing, and then providing additional supports and services as needed. The problem with the Housing First approach is that it does not allow a client to prioritize their wants and needs. For clients that already face systemic racism, oppression, and marginalization, making choices to house them first without allowing them the freedom to dictate their own path can be problematic. The homelessness partnering strategy. In 2013, the Government of Canada introduced an action plan called the Homelessness Partnering Strategy to help address homelessness by educating prevention and reduction strategies. Starting April 2014, a total of $600 million will be spent over a 5-year period to re-educate social workers about the importance of the Housing First approach. The Homelessness Partnering Strategy states that their approach is unique. They use a community-based approach that allows communities the flexibility and tools needed to distinguish their needs and priorities. Addictions and mental health. Many people struggling with addictions want help dealing with their past trauma, and forcing them into housing does not make their previous issues just disappear. Based on research from the Canadian Observatory on Homelessness, 49% of people experiencing homelessness also have addiction issues. A 24-month trial involving 575 participants was done at home Chesois in 2015. The trial housed chronically homeless people with addiction issues. Supports were not implemented or accessible to handle underlying issues in a participant's life. Although housing participants showed a 24% decrease in alcohol-related use, only 3% of participants using illicit drugs showed a decrease in their consumption. People with serious mental illness are disproportionately affected by homelessness. The consequences of homelessness tend to be more severe when coupled with mental illness. People with mental illnesses remain homeless for longer periods of time and have less contact with family and friends. They encounter more barriers to employment and tend to be in poorer health than other homeless people. Research indicates that a stable and supported living environment is essential to maintaining the health and well-being of people with serious mental illness and is integral to their recovery. Housing with support can generate positive outcomes, including enhanced life skills, improved health status, an increased sense of empowerment and involvement in the community. Research shows that maintaining and improving the housing of individuals with serious mental illness can contribute to a reduction in psychiatric symptoms and therefore decrease the need for emergency treatment and services. In conclusion, although the Housing First approach was implemented to help put an end to chronic homelessness, it is very evident that this model is not always a one-size-fits-all solution. Providing a safe place to call home may be beneficial to some. However, research states that 87% of people who are housed without tackling their underlying issues first did not decrease their substance use, nor did it improve their mental health. Although the Government of Canada states that the Housing First approach is evidence-based, people like myself wonder where this evidence comes from. All the scholarly articles and research used to build this research paper state that it works, but very minimal changes implemented in people's lives over the long term. So the question remains, Can initiatives like the Housing First approach successfully end chronic homelessness without addressing underlying issues like mental health and addictions first?